Hello, loves. This is Annette of AnnetteLeonard.com, back with Chronic Wellness. And I am going to talk to you today about Slay and safety. So the reason I'm talking about Slay, if you are watching this on video, you will already be clocking the fact that I'm wearing gigantic earrings, and they say Slay. I have said here before that on the days that I am able, I dress for the way I want to feel, not the way I do feel. And for me, that is just part of my mental health. That is part of wellness and taking care of myself. And, you know, like some of us do affirmations and meditation and other ways of just like getting right inside of ourselves. My limited wardrobe of only things that I love wearing is a part of how I keep myself propped up, feeling as best I can, and these earrings with attitude are a part of that. And along with like wearing things on my body that express my attitude, hence Slay, I thought I'd talk about safety. And for those of us with complex medical conditions, comes along hand in hand sometimes the need to wear medical ID jewelry. And y'all, I haven't met a piece of medical ID jewelry that I like. And there are many options out there. You know, you can get on Etsy and have beaded pieces made that are lovely, and yet I think it's that I'm just kind of resentful of the fact that I need medical ID jewelry, right? It's not that there aren't options, there are. I'm just mad I need it. But if you need it, I encourage you to be wearing it, because when the EMT finds your lifeless body, they need a quick and easy way to discover how to best treat you. And particularly with complex medical conditions or meds that they need to know you're on, like insulin or blood thinners or heavy painkillers like opiates, it is really important that they have access to that information about you and quickly. So I'm going to just talk about two things that I've done recently that have been helpful in that regard. So I am right now wearing an Apple Watch. Many of you probably have other sports watches or Fitbits or things like that. So today I'm going to talk about two ways that you can identify yourself with medical jewelry on those. Okay, so the first takes a little bit of DIY. I picked up a medical bracelet on Amazon that had links on it, as well as one of these little doolollies that has the medical staff on the front, and on the back says the name of the blood thinner that I am on, which is important because each of the blood thinners have their own antidote. So if you were in a car accident, for example, and were bleeding out and they needed to stop your bleeding, it is a different thing whether you were on the one I'm on, Xarelto, or you are on a different one like Coumadin or Eliquis. Each of those have a different antidote, and they need to know which one you are on in order to give you the right antidote. So I took that bracelet that had links on it, and I cut the links with a pair of wire cutters. I had my wife do it because my hand strength is crap. And then I threaded through some little plastic hair rubber bands, just tiny ones, onto the metal hooks that I left at the very end. And then I threaded that onto the band of my watch. And that was a good enough solution for plenty long time, and I would do it again in a pinch. Worked well. Since then, I have ordered from a company called My ID two bands, one a generic one that just said blood thinners, and the other one that I had to pay for that had the specific name of my blood thinner from them. And those fit, they're rubber, they stretch a little bit, and they just fit over the watch band more comfortably for me. This company, incidentally, also sells a bit wider one that you can put more information on. And then on the back has a QR code that somebody could scan and get your whole medical history and all the meds that you're on. I'm just not clear in an emergency situation how much somebody's going to use a QR scanner or open up their phone and scan a QR code. So talk to the EMTs in your life, talk to the medical professionals in your life, and ask them. Because that is what kept me, that's what gave me pause or hesitation about pulling the trigger on that option for myself. How about you? What are you doing as far as medical jewelry or labeling on your person to say, hey, if I'm passed out or unconscious, what do you need to know about my medical history, my medical health, the medications that I'm taking? Because, boy, I struggled to put this on my person, but I recognize that blood thinners are a whole new game, and it's critical for somebody to know how to stop the bleeding if they find me unconscious or unable to speak for myself and bleeding profusely. So that's just a little bit on the subject for today. I'd love to hear from you about what you're doing. If you're not doing anything, why aren't you doing anything? If you're doing something different, what are you doing? I was kind of concerned about this, that it doesn't have the medical staff on it to really draw somebody's attention to it, saying, hey, this is a medical alert piece of jewelry. What do you think about that? And tomorrow I'm going to get into the subject of DNR. So, not tomorrow, but next week. So stay tuned and sound off as ever. I'm interested in what you do and what your thoughts are about these topics. And until we're together again, slay, y'all. I hope that you're finding ways to raise your spirits and be well.